Don't you just hate it when this happens? You've just salvaged a great motor from a tape deck that could come in handy, and on the way to the parts bin, it gets dropped, and it breaks. And now I have to fix it.
In this little short video, I'm going to teach you guys how to fix a motor which has had the connection tab broken off the back of it. So the first thing we need to do is to get into the motor itself so that we can open it up and reconnect it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my side cutters just to open up the edge of the motor a bit. So that I can pop the back off. Now I can get a screwdriver under here. Because if you have a cassette deck motor that the tab has been damaged on, it's easy to fix these things. If we pop the back off of it, now all I need to do is just to secure this little piece of circuit board back on the back there and reattach the wires. I'm going to do that using some epoxy, so I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy, put a little bit on the board there to secure it, and then we'll go about reattaching the wires and test the motor out. To do this, I'm mixing the smallest amount of epoxy that I can, because I don't need to waste a whole tube just to make a tiny little bit. We're going to mix the two of them together. I'm using JB Weld just because it's what I have and it's very strong, although you can basically use any epoxy. We'll mix this up here for a minute or so just to make sure it's well mixed. And the neat thing about epoxy is it's a two-part. It's an epoxy resin plus a chemical reagent that will make the epoxy turn into plastic as it cures very quickly. And this is 5-minute epoxy. So I'm going to put a little bit of epoxy on the edge of the circuit board here, the part that's broken. I don't want to get any on the contacts because these I'm going to be soldering them. Now we'll take this piece that's broken and we'll stick it back in and get it underneath there. I'm going to wipe off any epoxy that did migrate up onto the board itself, as I don't want it to interfere with the connection I'm going to make. So I'll just wipe that off, and I'm going to now let this set for the next few minutes until it's dry. Well, I guess I could put some onto the motor here, because this is never going to come apart again. If this motor fails down the road, it's not going to be repairable. So we'll put some down on the bottom here just to add some extra strength. This was actually one of the motors I pulled out of that Garbage Technics cassette deck, and it rolled off the bench and landed on the ground, and when it landed it snapped the connector off. So we're going to try and fix this one up, make sure it works so that I've got a working motor. So I'm going to let this set for a few minutes, and then we'll make the electrical connections and make sure that it still works. Okay, the epoxy will have set up by now. All I need to do is just scrape back some of the solder mask that was on a couple of the connections here. After cleaning up the board, I'm going to use some fine strander wire. This is from an HDMI cable, I believe. And we're going to hook this up to bridge over the connections. I tell you, story of my life, I've been waiting all day for a guy to pick something up that he brought me a week ago to repair. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, wondering where the hell he is. He phoned me at 11 o'clock and he says, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. And well, it's now 12:15. I've been waiting, an extra hour. And he just showed up in his Tesla, and he was waiting to get a charge because he didn't have enough charge to get home. And there was somebody else already on the fast charger he was trying to get on, so he had to wait for them. And they weren't with their car. They took off somewhere. So he's standing around waiting for them so he could get on the charger so he could come over to pick his stuff up for me I said, gee, I said to him when he showed up, I said, what happened in 15 minutes? He goes, well, he says, I pulled up to the supercharger. I was going to get a charge. He says, there was somebody on the charger. I had to kind of wait. He says, I was only going to be on there for 15 minutes. But he said, I phoned you when I was just pulling up there, and there was somebody on there, and I couldn't get on. And he says, and they waited. They were on the charger for the full time to get a full charge. So he said he had to wait half an hour for them, and then he plugged in for 15 minutes to get enough juice to get home. I pointed at my Volt in the driveway, and I said, that's why I drive a Volt. I said, so I never, ever, ever have to use the excuse I'm waiting for somebody else. Tell you, the guy I used to work for, that one would have never held water. I remember one time when I worked at the shop, I had to stop and get gas, and the guy that I worked for, he was a kind of an a-hole as far as time went. You know, I'd be working at a customer's house, and he would phone the customer to see if I was still there. He would, because we used to do in-home service way back in the 80s, and I used to have to go to people's homes and try and fix their console TVs because we didn't want to bring it into the shop because they were, you know, they weighed a ton. So go to the customer's house, and the boss, if he thought I was there too long, we gave 30-minute service calls, and he didn't take into factor, or did not factor in the time it takes to drive to the customer's house or to do any work there, take the TV apart or do anything, right? It was a 30-minute call. It didn't matter if it took you 10 minutes each way to get there. If you weren't back in 40 minutes, he was on the phone. So I remember one time I had to stop and get gas. I stopped at the gas station to get gas and fill up the truck. And I got back and it's like, what takes you so long? So I had to stop and get gas. It wasn't an excuse. I got yelled at because the guy I worked for used to like to yell at people for everything. But you know the saying, right? Karma. Well, he got karma. Karma got him good. I won't go into any more details on that. Just saying that,
You know, what goes round, right? It went around.
So make sure that that's not going to short out anywhere. This one that's over in the edge here is the one I'm worried about the most. It's so close to the side. I think it's ground anyway, but I just don't want anything shorting out. Okay, let's see if the motor spins. There it goes. See it spinning? That one's fixed. Okay, so if you break off the tab on a motor accidentally, like if you drop it or something like I did, it's relatively easy to fix. Just glue it in place with a little bit of epoxy and bridge the wires over, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching.